Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Take the Black Live. Take the Black Live, I'm sorry. The weekly, mostly, show where we talk about everything you need to know about things like Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, science fiction, fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, Marvel, etc., and so forth. I am Dan Selcke, the editor of Winter is Coming, and you are?
I'm Mia Johnson, entertainment editor at fansided.com.
And we haven't been here in a week. We skipped last week because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, our teammates were a little backed up, so we were like, okay, we can give them a little bit of a rest. We'll come back next week. And here
I'm
we
a
are.
bit psyched to be back, though, because,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I like the show. I like being on here. It's nice to have an outlet, and I have had some things in the past 2 weeks of,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
It's all bottled up. We got to get it out.
It is. So let's just start it out. And hello, everybody to watch what they're watching. If you have a comment, feel free. We'd like to interact with you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, before I start, the most important thing, we're on iTunes. You can go download us and give us 5 stars and tell us that we are beautiful, wonderful people in a review. All right. I thought we'd start out today by going over to some Game of Thrones news because we got to do
Yeah,
that.
let's start.
We have to. Hi, Julie. How everybody doing? We have to, respect the progenitor of everything.
Of course.
And there's some stuff going on. George R. R. Martin, the author of Song of Ice and Fire, posted the cover image from the 2021 A Song of Ice and Fire calendar.
Ooh.
And I will show it to you.
Yeah, let's
From
look.
artist Sam Hogg. And it's... Ooh. Now, you don't know this, Mia, but this is a scene that did not actually make it into the show. It's a scene from the books, because these calendars are all book-based. They're book nerds like that.
So what is going on in
This
this
is
scene?
Quentin Martell, a character who just straight up was not on the show at all. Was just cut. He was a Dornish character. He was the son of wheelchair guy, Doran
Okay.
Martell. And he was just, I guess, just too much.
Yeah.
He goes to Meereen when Daenerys is there, sneaks into, remember when the dragons were kept in that cavern beneath Meereen?
Yes.
He tries to free them because he wants to take them for himself and for Dorne, and they just fry the hell out of him. And it's actually a pretty good bit. I do like that bit in the book.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it had been in the show, but before that, it was this long. We spend way too much time in the book. The climax is good. I'll admit that it does have a good payoff. That's the
Okay.
payoff scene. I wish that had made it in the book, but I do get why they would have cut that.
Awesome.
On the show, literally, the dragons just kind of they just we're out. They just
I'm
blast the
busting
wall.
out.
You couldn't have done that the entire time.
Well, so is this going to have other illustrations in this
Oh, yeah,
calendar?
Well, apparently every calendar, the last calendar for 2019 was Monsters of Ice and Fire, so it had direwolves and dragons.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has a theme yet, but Sam Hogg is a talented artist.
These are
fantasy.
awesome. At least the cover, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Those are always fun.
2021, gosh.
And perhaps, yes, great giveaway, says Julie. Yes, perhaps we'll give a copy away. Congratulations to Katie, who won our recent Take the Black
Oh, yeah.
Club winnership, which was a Stark apron.
Yes. Love those
very
gifts.
We're going to keep doing that and Take the Black Club. So that's that. Pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks fun, yeah.
In other Game of Thrones news, I thought we would check in on some of our favorite Game of Thrones cast members going on to certainly big, impressive things.
Yeah.
The Eternals, which is maybe the next big Marvel movie, would you say?
Yeah, it's going to be something else. And it's one of the movies that I kind of know, I wouldn't say, maybe the least about. There's just so many new elements to this.
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
Or
it's
that
completely
set of characters.
New set of characters, and they're bringing Kit in, and there's actually been a lot of behind the scenes stuff,
There have.
filming in London and all these, but kind of
Almost suspiciously a lot. You wonder if they're okay with this being leaking out.
yeah, for Marvel for sure.
And Nicole says she just bought the entire series, beautifully done. It is. The collector's edition of Game of Thrones is this gorgeous box.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to see the Game of Thrones cast members, here is Kit Harington, who is trading up and going to the Marvel family as a superhero. That is him.
Oh wow.
Again, and this is the movie where he plays the Black Knight
yeah.
superhero, really stretching himself.
He's a very versatile
Yeah,
actor.
to play a medieval-themed, sword-wielding superhero who is here kissing Karsi the Eternal, who's the Eternals are an alien race who are protecting Earth. I mean, it's good for Kit Harington to get in that kind of gig. I mean, obviously, if you're in a Marvel, that means your kids are definitely going to college.
They're
like,
going to college.
Colleges.
You're set. You don't have to worry about a single thing for the rest of your unless you're like Sebastian Stan and you've got some choice words to say. Did you not?
Did
see
he have gambling debts?
No. I'm saying how not to get too sidetracked, but on Instagram, he like screenshotted, I think it was like a tweet or something where like imagine, it was basically criticizing Steve Rogers and I think kind of like Bucky's character development.
Really?
And he only responded with like kind of like an embarrassed emoji or something. But everybody's like, oh, Sebastian Stan spilled the tea. So it's like him and then John Boyega sent out a tweet and he's like, oh, welcome Sebastian.
John Boyega. Oh, I did see that.
So him... Oscar Isaac and John Boyega are all kind of like up in arms against Disney, but very subtly so.
And very subtly, like, there's a whole question about that. Like, I don't want to say like you're getting paid probably millions of dollars. Just like how much room do you have to complain? I mean, I don't believe that. I do think if there are real problems, complain about them. At the same time, like, what problems could you possibly have that they're not patched over by millions of dollars? Like, that's what I don't know.
I think, issues. I don't know. He never has been outspoken about his character's development or like any of that, which, to be honest, there hasn't been a lot of character development, which is why we're getting the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I'm like, you better watch it. You're still on the payroll. Like, John Boyega is done. You still have to watch out. But yeah, back to Eternals.
Yes. We also have Richard Madden, who played Robb Stark, of course, floating in midair through wires. I believe he was playing the Eternal Icarus.
Yeah, what a move. Well, there he is. Don't fly off into the sun.
I'm sure he'll be fine. It looks like it tonight.
This is so funny to me, actually.
Oh, totally. It's funny. I mean, a man just floating in the air. It's
looks
ridiculous
like,
looking.
There's like a meme of this kid running down the hallway. I don't know. And there's like a floating, like shadowy figure behind him. So that's kind of what I'm imagining right now.
It's Robb Stark chasing him. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's a star-studded cast. It'll be, and again, like I'd never heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy before I saw that either. Yeah. And Marvel makes it works.
They do it. They do it. They've got the magic touch. So this one should definitely be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think in November or
it's a later month.
Later month. Yeah, it's later this year. Which Marvel has a full slate of things, I think, which kind of transitions into what's going on next.
Yeah, speaking of Marvel movies, they're going to plan for the next big Marvel movie blitz. Mm-hmm. But I think we all know that right now, television is where it's at. Disney certainly knows that.
Yeah.
They had a thing today about how, Star Wars movies are on hiatus, but we're going to focus on television hardcore. Kind of maybe where they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna spin characters off The Mandalorian for their own shows. I'm like, it's only a season old, but okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Disney dropped some news about the upcoming Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus.
They did, yeah.
Which again, I think is where they're gonna get the most bang for their buck now. People just are watching more TV than movies now. It's just easier.
It's kind of, I mean, it's the comfort of being at home, and I even kind of like texted my brother like Birds of Prey is coming out this weekend and I really want to see it, but I was also like, I don't want to make the effort to go to the theater and sit down and have to pay for parking.
There might be a light dusting of snow. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, so it's like it's that comfort of just being able to watch like great stuff at home, which is driving this whole thing. Basically, watching like movies better than movies. So,
and I am intrigued by these shows. Yeah. So, okay, we got 3. We got The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is about Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, who I think are still on the run from the law as far as the movies go.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. They're not on good terms, I don't think, with the government.
And we got a little image from that. Mia, you're a big Marvel fan. What do you see in this picture?
Yeah. Well, do we want to play the clip first?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I think
sorry.
We've got the clip loaded up. So let's see this was the Super Bowl trailer, and we'll take a look and then discuss.
It's time.
Wanda, welcome home.
Vision residents.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Okay, 30 seconds, good times. Which of these are you most excited to see?
Is all of them?
No, it's not. It's a cheat.
Dang it!
But okay, we can go
You know
through
what?
it and
No.
then talk about it.
Okay, I think I'm gonna give it to WandaVision only because it does look so weird.
I'm totally with you there.
It looks so weird. I don't know if we want to go in order
Let's
of
go in
how
order,
we
yeah.
have. I think we can pull up the WandaVision picture. Can we? Okay, we're just gonna run this out of order because there's so much going on. So WandaVision is going to be like this clip from the
Is
movie.
Wanda, who is
The
Elizabeth Olsen,
Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch.
and Vision. Last scene being definitely killed.
Yeah,
by
they killed him
Thanos, but
dead.
It's comics. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, he will come back.
And so in the trailer, we kind of see what most people have been talking about, like she's going to be in different TV show, like genre shows, sitcoms, kind of like, okay, in this one, it looks like she's in Full House. Another one looks like I Love Lucy.
It's like a Brady Bunch 60s
yeah,
thing she was
Brady
for a second.
Bunch. So we've got all these like different things, and it absolutely makes no sense. Like,
No.
it's supposed to make no sense. I think what you kind of find out as it develops is, you know, obviously something isn't right here. Vision is alive. That's, you know, first and foremost.
Yeah, Vision's alive, and she is in cherished television sitcoms
Yeah.
of yesteryear.
Yeah.
So those are two weird things.
Yeah, and then even in that shot, it's kind of like they're standing in front of two cribs. And I think the Vision comic book writer Tom King kind of like tweeted out that screenshot too. And it was like, I don't know, it's just so cool and it's so weird. And I'm interested to see what happens.
That one's definitely my most intrigued.
Yeah.
Although Nicole says, hands down, Loki. Ooh. Let's bring up Loki to the stage.
So that was kind of interesting because I think they literally just started filming. And so we've only got
true.
like this one shot that they probably were like, let's just film this. We can get out in time for the Super Bowl.
There was some dialogue, though. I think
There
one
was some dialogue. He had a line. He got paid.
He got the money.
He says like, we're going to burn this place down or whatever. And he's like
very
in a
on
prison jumpsuit. And on the prison jumpsuit, people were quick to notice that there's the letters TVA, which
Like,
to the
very
untrained
brightly
eye,
adorned.
very neon. It's kind of like in your face. They're
Yeah.
like,
What's that mean? Because I do not know.
so that stands for the time, let's see,
Variant.
time variance authority. And what I take that to be is they're basically just the time. Yeah, we got a nice crop on that. As
Tight.
basically they're the time cops. So if you do something wrong, you mess up time and space and all that, they're gonna come after you.
And as I recall, he took the time stone
He
last
took
time
the
when he...
Tesseract,
Is this
where
the
yeah,
Space Stone?
it's the.
I cannot be expected to keep all this straight.
It's a lot. Yeah. The Tesseract has the Space Stone, which allows you to manipulate space and I guess also time. So he kind of just blew Skadooed out of the whole situation that he was in the Avengers, causing a whole nother timeline. He jumped into his own television series, and that's kind of where we leave him in
Burn this place to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get too sidetracked,
Yeah.
but wasn't in Avengers Endgame they established that we're working with, like, not literal time travel, but different dimension time travel? So what are the police upset about? Like, is he going to literally time travel and it's going to be all concurrent, circular, like, consistent
You know what?
time?
Technically, I don't think they've like really introduced like the whole dimensions thing. Like Doctor Strange was like, I can go on this forever, but he said I can see into the like different like dimensions, or maybe not, but I don't think he's like in a different dimension per se. It's just a different timeline. And so I don't know if people remember like that part where the Ancient One was like with the Hulk, and she's talking about how like if you
Yeah.
do all this and you knock something out of line, it's going to completely mess things up. And he's like, but no, we're just going to put everything back in place and it'll be fine. But unbeknownst to them, when Loki escaped, that created its own timeline. And so now things are absolutely messed up.
Listen, I'm not a high-level physics expert.
Oh, of course, me
All
neither.
I want is them to stick to choose one ridiculous explanation
Yeah.
of how time works and just stick to
we
it.
need to be like, and was that Back to the Future where Doc Brown's got like the chalkboard and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, when you do this and then you do that, and oh my gosh.
Stephen Hawking, if you're watching, you want to come on this show, we will gladly have you on
From-
and ask you a couple of questions.
From Beyond the Grave?
Oh yeah, he died, didn't he? I'm sorry. I'm sure there's
Maybe.
I forgot he died.
In a different dimension or a different time.
We live in a society where there's a lot of news happening. And I forgot sometime when physicists die. Okay.
So yeah, that's what's going on. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be weird.
I knew after I said that he died. I'm sorry, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, it's I'm a little giddy today.
You were
But I think the more like standard show
more grounded.
is
And the first
very
one coming
grounded.
out. They also released the release dates, by the way, of these.
Yeah, they announced this like yesterday. So
Yeah,
I could
it was
not find
Falcon
it.
and
Oh, you got it.
WandaVision December. That's the end
Yeah.
of it. So we get Falcon the Winter Soldier in August.
yeah,
And that does seem nice and grounded.
it does. It seems very kind of just like in the vein of like Captain America, Winter Soldier. It's just kind of like this is the movie. There's no grand specter or anything. But in the clip that we have here, or the little shot that we have, you see this Captain America looking guy. But it's obviously not Steve Rogers. He's a bag of bones. And it's not Sam Wilson either, who should have been Captain America. So people are thinking this is what they call a U.S. agent.
Right.
Who's the actor?
Wyatt Yeah, it's
Russell.
Wyatt
yeah.
Russell.
Kurt Russell's son.
Seriously? I don't know that.
Yeah.
Good for him. Oh, are you just making that up?
No. I swear I read that. But yeah, so we've got
I can never
him.
say any factual thing again because I didn't know that Stephen Hawking was dead. So
But so we've got him, and what people are thinking, like we had mentioned that kind of like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier aren't on good terms with the government.
Right.
And so when the Falcon is handed Captain America's shield, they might be like, you don't really deserve to have that. Who's to say? But I think they're going to take it into their own hands and be like, now we're going to have our own Captain America.
which I love.
So-
I think it says that seems like juicy thematic territory.
Yeah.
That, okay, it's going to be, we have the government-backed superhero, but is that the just one? Is that the right one? Or is it these outlaws who are doing the right thing who are really in the right? It sounds like a good opportunity to get into some themes that are completely different than themes of being in sitcoms for some reason, exploring that or whatever the hell's going to go on in Time Police. It seriously, it sounds like these shows have a nice variance to them.
Oh, yeah. No two shows are alike
Which
vibe
is,
at all.
because kind of relatedly, they delayed the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, supposedly because it was going to be too much like The Mandalorian, with Obi-Wan looking out after baby Luke.
Yeah, I can see how they might.
I appreciate them trying to go to vary it enough.
Right. And you know what? They were just talking about Mandalorian season 2, which is supposed to come in
October, I think.
October. So I'm like, so where is I really just want the Obi-Wan. If it, I don't know.
Cancel it.
Really? No, you don't like Ian McGregor?
No, I love you, McGregor.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
I just, I don't want them to do lots of Star Wars or lots of anything just to do it. I mean, if they have a great idea, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with Disney sometimes they're putting these things out there, not but because they want to slam us with things to watch, not because we have an idea that absolutely must get made.
And you know what? To be honest, there's also the Clone Wars, which a ton of people, the cartoon that has been on, I think they're going
it's
on
popular.
like season 8. It's going to be, I've heard it's really, really, really good. People
too.
love the Clone Wars. So it's not that we're completely devoid of like Obi-Wan Kenobi material when it comes to like kind of like the in-betweens. But I would, like, if they want to take the time to make sure it's done right, I'm not going to blame them for doing that. So
Of course. I have to read Nicole's comment.
Yes.
I always wanted one of my kids to be a quantum physicist and make me a freaking time machine. Lol. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Or just become one yourself. How hard can it be?
to
I mean,
be a quantum physicist, maybe a couple days, weeks, months, years of
Quarks.
studying. Yeah.
those are really small. But yeah, that's a good plan. I have kids. I will try to get them up on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving past Disney, I know it's hard, but
yeah.
there are other things happening in entertainment that they're not involved in. There are some leaks this past 2 weeks, which were very exciting about big new things coming up. First of all, okay, the more I read about this, the more I think about it, the more I think that the Wheel of Time might be the next really big, if they do it right, fantasy series. I'm reading the books finally.
Okay, good.
I mean, audiobook.
Yeah, you'll get it either way.
It's okay. I might go back and forth, like read the first book on audio tape and then do the second book, like read it for real. But I'm doing the first book, and it is definitely. I mean, Robert Jordan definitely read Lord of the Rings, and is very fond of it. That's clear. But I like Lord of the Rings, and there is something elementally satisfying about, like, some people who don't know a lot about the world going on a grand adventure that will change them as people, and they'll go back, and also there are wizards involved. The first shot from the Wheel of Time show Amazon's making leaked online.
Oh, yeah.
It's been scrubbed, so don't tell anyone about this, that we're showing this to you. Because this was, I don't think they meant this to happen. It was like the wife of a cinematographer put it to Instagram to like say this is so great. And then like it was gone real fast. But once it's in there, it's in there. So what I think this is lead characters Randolph Thor, fantasy name, in the background, and Matt, because
just Matt.
just mix it up. Matt Calhoun, I think his name is. I believe they're in the, like really early on, like their village gets attacked by Trollocs orcs. And it gets all burned down. Seriously, it's real Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
I've heard that it gets less so as there's 14 damn books.
Okay.
But the first book it's like you super read
Lord of the Rings fan fiction with different characters.
Anyway, it looks good. I mean, it looks complete. It looks like they're putting money into it, which I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Are you interested in this? I know that you're more of like a science fiction person more than a fantasy person.
Yeah, that's why stuff like this is tricky for me. Like, I did like the Lord of the Rings movies, and I think I just kind of watched that just because of the cultural phenomena that it was.
Sure.
As far as the Wheel of Time, I think it would take some real convincing to get. Like, I can see me like watching like first episode or so, but there's just something about when it really like gets into like the fantasies and the like orcs and elves. I don't know what it is about all that kind of stuff. Not to say that I don't like it, but I don't love it. So sorry to Amazon and all of that, but I mean, there's obviously a niche for people who enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, look at this show.
Yeah.
You'll of course have to come on board when it comes out so we can talk about it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I do. I have always loved that kind of thing, and even though the Wheel of Time so far is I mean, it is a bit affectionately homaging, I'm enjoying it, and yeah, I'm already into it. I'm looking forward to the thing, and it looks like they're putting the right amount of money into it, as long as they're passionate about it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot bigger to come, because everyone I've talked to says this, like, who really know the books and loves them. So I feel like there's going to be a moment where I just click.
More. Yeah, I bet, yeah.
Nicole says, haven't read those yet. I'm working on the Shannara books, also good books, since I met Terry Brooks and won 25 of his books. Oh, sweet. It's a good story. What happened there? And Julie agrees with me. I feel this will be huge.
I bet it will, yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're going to try their best. Another big leak that came out. This one's, I don't want to think of this one. Are you into Dune at all? Because that's a science fiction thing, technically.
It is, but I think it might have been like before my time for me to appreciate.
But so is Star Wars. So is Star Trek. So is Lord of the Rings. Things are old.
It's yeah. But Dune for me, not in my wheelhouse.
It is a very it's science fiction, but it's basically a fantasy story. It's like, you replace the swords with ray guns, and you it's about like it's very Game of Thrones. It's very like noble houses, but it's on a planetary scale. Anyway, Denis Villeneuve, the guy who made Arrival, like that movie, it's a great movie. And the new
Arrival, I loved Arrival. Yeah,
it's good. And the new Blade Runner movie, which is really good too, is going to make Dune, which is it is an old book, like from the 60s, I want to say, that has been around for a long time, very, very famous, has a lot of followers. It's never really been done really well on film. David Lynch got a crack at it in the 80s, and I love David Lynch, but it was a bit out there and cracked out. New movie, I think in December. They're going to, of course, they want it to be a series, because that's what happens. The logo seemed to leak at like a French film conference. Again, was scrubbed immediately from the internet after it leaked out.
But everything on the internet is permanent.
I know. I do kind of love it. It's like, it's just a U that's turned in different angles, 4 different ones.
Yeah, it's simple. It's sleek.
It spells dunk.
What is that? The trait dissemble? I don't speak French. I don't know what the third would be.
It just says hashtag French convention.
Un, deux, trois. Oh, right.
Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, neuf. What the hell's 8? Nuit. Yes, there you go. Thank you, Madame Granada from 7th grade French.
Aw.
Anyway, I like it. I think it's a cool thing.
It looks pretty neat, yeah.
I wonder why they scrubbed it. I mean, like, it's just a logo. I wonder if it's like a placeholder or something.
It could be that. I mean, like, if they presented it at this place, I really don't see why not. But again, I mean, like, if it wasn't the time or the place, then of course you're gonna want to like call back everything so it's not out in the public before it's meant to be out in the public.
It was fun though. Like I meant to the sandwich. Like one person like just took 4 macaronis, then just like put them like de-young.
It's better than the Loki logo. It's sleek. It's, have you seen the Loki logo where it's like every letter is a different font, and like it kind of like cycles to where like the L will be like 10 different fonts and the O. Take a look at it, and then you won't be making fun of Dune.
I read Dune before I read Liberty of the Time just to from that because again I'm trying to get up on all this stuff. It's very heavy and mannered and kind of serious. The Wheel of Time is lighter. It's got more comedy to it. I think that'll be a nice thing. By the way, Nicole, thanks for telling me the story. My step about how you met Terry Brooks, 125 books. My stepmom attends a book writers convention called Realm Makers. Cool. The last night the public can attend, he was one of the special guest authors, and they do raffles, and I won.
Oh,
sweet.
Awesome.
It is pretty cool. Again, we'll get Terry Brooks on this show.
Ooh.
We'll get some people. Oh, and Louise Piper. The David Lynch film was weird. I read this way back and watched it. Then needs more than the film to make it good. I mean, David Lynch does David Lynch. Like, you hire David Lynch, you're not going to get, like, he's not going to adapt Little Women. He's going to do David Lynch's Little Women. It's going to be very, very strange. Oscars this weekend.
That's right.
And finally, I just want to talk about what are you watching, Mia?
Yeah, you know what? I thought it'd be worth mentioning Picard. We had talked about before.
What do you think?
I think...
Because, really quick.
Yeah.
You're a Star Trek fan, right?
I'm
you've
like
watched other
like a
ones?
soft start. Like, I'll catch it when I catch it.
Cool. Because, like, I've never seen anything Star Trek, and I watched this.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious to hear what your opinion to mine.
You know, this one was weird because I feel like the last one that had Picard was kind of obvious. It was like standalone to where you could watch basically any episode out of order or whatever. Because I've never watched it front to back. The Next Generation, and Whoopi. And it was just kind of fun. Like every episode kind of had like a moral lesson to it, which is kind of, and it wasn't shoved down your throat. It was like very heartfelt and sincere. Mm-hmm. And what this one is doing, it's definitely not like in your face sci-fi. It's not like ships and, uniforms. It's I don't know, it's kind of weird because it's like he's at home, he's got an estate, he's got a dog, he's got like servants.
He's got 2 helpers.
And so it's kind of weird to like,
I was going to say, like, again, I'm not a Star Trek guy. Like, they're apparently aliens, but like,
oh, yeah.
So this is like the Star Trek thing where like you put a little thing in the forehead and like, I'm an alien. Yeah. I guess I'll have to get used to that, I guess.
Yeah. So it was really kind of like low key and like the way, like if you're a really big Next Generation fan, then it might be kind of cool because it's kind of got like this storyline about like Data, and I don't like want to spoil too much, but it continues off of what happened, I guess, with like the final movie or something, which I've never seen the movie. So I think you really have to be invested in all of that to like this, as to where I'm not. So it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Mean, like, I never watched any other stuff, but I enjoyed it.
Did you?
I mean, I thought that Patrick Stewart brought me in. Mm-hmm. Like, even though I don't know what he's... I mean, I didn't see when Romulus blew up or something. I don't know what that means. But I mean, like, I could tell that it was important to him.
Exactly,
and I mean, like, I could pick up on where he's going. I thought it moved pretty quickly.
It did, it went by really quick.
There is like a sincerity to it.
Yeah.
That, I mean, obviously, it's not like a moral lesson. I think it's more cynical for a more cynical age, maybe. Mm-hmm. But there was I think it's the best way to put it, sincerity to it that I liked. And I thought he was really, really good in the making.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm interested. I'm going to watch more.
It's a different tone, and it does present that mystery. I think it's worth saying that it's basically about like, this girl who is in some way, or girl's technically a descendant from Data. And so they're trying to figure out like what's the whole mystery behind that and how does that work.
And then in the very first episode, big twist. I didn't see that coming. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to spoil it for people. Nicole loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still watching, Nicole. I'm going to keep watching because I'm in love.
Yeah, so I think it's not it's like it's kind of like expect the unexpected. Think of it as like a typical like series that's out now, but don't think of it as the next generation because it's not.
Which again, if you've never seen a subject like me, that's a good thing because you can go into it pretty fresh and still enjoy it.
Yeah, kind of like in the way with the Mandalorian. It's like they're going to be saying things.
Very much like that.
They're going to be saying some things. You might not know those things, but you can still understand it.
Speaking of like space stuff, I have to say how disappointed I am. I'm watching Avenue 5 on HBO.
Yeah. How many episodes are they in? Like 2 or 3?
They're like 3. I got all the 4 screeners.
Yeah.
Okay, Mia, it's bad.
No.
Like, it's not even like it could be better. It's bad, and I'm so sad about it.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Because I love Armando Iannucci, who did Veep, very great satirist, and I thought, like, okay, it's going to be about this space cruise ship with Hugh Laurie, obviously a great actor, Josh Gad, he's good for something.
Yeah,
he's very funny.
He's Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf, singing Snowman. I trusted that team to bring me something interesting. And I figured,
really
okay, you
strange.
could, like, parody the future of capitalism or something like that, where, like, nobody cares about the little people who are paying you all this money and they're still so ignorant and self-absorbed. And, like, there are some punchlines, but not many. They don't know where they're going. They're really juvenile jokes.
Weird because it's like those little digestible like half-hour episodes. So I feel like it's you don't have to drag the show on for too long. It should, like, in theory. It's weird because it's like I want to check it out, but I'm afraid because of the things that I've been hearing about it. It's like
I would love to recommend. I can't recommend it, and it breaks my heart
That's
a little
really
bit because I
sad.
really do like that guy. Louise asked, by the way, might have missed this, but is there really no more Watchmen? And yeah, basically, Damon Lindelof came out and said that no, probably not.
Yeah, they're done. They're kind of like wrapped. I think.
I'm fine with
season
that.
2. Yeah.
I'm all for more shows, especially on HBO, going like the limited series route.
Yeah, just like one
not
and
everything
done.
needs to be 8 seasons.
Yeah, one and done.
Speaking of that, I'm also watching on HBO The Outsider, which is a limited series, Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Okay, that one is honestly keeping me up at night.
Ooh, see, that's why that sounds too scary for me. I'm afraid.
It is too scary for
I'm
you. It's too scary for
afraid.
everybody.
I can't. The only thing that interests me on HBO, which is kind of like it's more nonfiction, which is the McMillions. Have you heard of that one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is it a series or is it like just a one documentary?
It's a series about the whole like McDonald's monopoly scandal. Nothing to do, obviously, with any of this fantasy.
And then a dragon comes.
And
wins.
maybe some CGI dragons will come, but that actually is one thing that HBO is putting out that I'm like kind of interested in.
No, I've heard it's really good.
Yeah,
I'd like to. The Outsider, though, is I mean, it's scary. I don't like horror things. I don't go seek out horror stuff. But this is, it's HBO. I thought it would be worth checking out because, they're good at, like, doing slow builds, which is very slow build and kind of slow dread.
Yeah.
But so every once in a while, I like watching something like that. I hold my dog close to my chest when I'm watching that thing because it is freaky.
I tried to watch the second season of The Terror, and it was just like, even like the opening couple of scenes was just like too much of a horror threshold for me to make it through. I was like, because I do like thrillers and I like mysteries, but like once it gets too scary, it's like I have to tap out. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't recommend it if you live in it, but I'm into it. And as Nicole says, Outlander's about to be back. Woohoo!
Outlander.
And yes, I think next week I want to bring on someone to talk about Outlander.
Yeah.
Because
It's
we
important.
need an expert
We
on that.
need an
'Cause I do
Outlander
not know
expert.
enough.
I think I've got some people who I know. I hope you know some people. So
I do.
Good.
So next week, I'm going to promise everybody we're going to have an Outlander discussion because I know y'all out there do enjoy it, and I'm going to do my best to get into it.
Yeah.
Before that, anything else you want to say about sci-fi, fantasy, pop culture in general?
Oh, speaking of horror, did you
Wonderful
see
insights.
the Spiral movie trailer?
I didn't. I heard about it. That's
Yeah.
Chris Rock in
Chris
Saw?
Rock, yeah, and Samuel
Why?
Jackson.
Really?
And it's like it's another one of those things where it's the horror threshold where I don't like gruesome things, but it's Chris Rock, so I don't know if I'm gonna go see it, but it does look interesting. So,
And yes, I'll watch it. I'll watch the trailer.
Yeah.
I saw this original Saw like way back in the day,
Yeah.
and then I noped out for the rest
there's
of
a
the
lot.
like 9.
There's a lot.
But if anything can get me back, sure. Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson trapped in a room, gnawing their own arm off. Whatever happened to those movies, I'm down for it. And everyone's right too. Vikings is also on. Julie says Vikings, which is another really
Yeah.
exciting show.
Yeah.
We're going to be reviewing that on Winter is Coming tonight or tomorrow.
Ooh.
And
Terror, yeah.
with that, I think we can sign off for this week. Guys, it was great being back. I did literally miss you while we were away that week because I want to get stuff my chest.
I know.
And now we'll be back next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Talk about Outland, talk about other stuff. In the meantime, if you want to shower us with praise on iTunes reviews, feel free. You don't got it, but it could be nice. And we will see you here at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Winter Screen Facebook page for more news, more discussion, more opinions. Ooh, the Oscars are going to happen. Talk about that too.
Yeah.
There's always something to talk about.
Always.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.